Hello and welcome back to yet another Cinevlog. Now, normally when I start these Cinevlogs, I'm not sat here. You see, the thing is, I forgot to film this morning. It wasn't until I was already on the bus that I remembered, oh, I'm supposed to do a Cinevlog for this. And so, enjoy what vlog footage I got. Because you see, I'm literally just home, so I've already gone to see the film. So yeah, that's the vlog footage that you just seen that I recorded, because I still had, even though I'm filming this on the Thursday, the day before this goes up, I still had to go into course. And then afterwards, at like 2 o'clock, we did bowling for about an hour, and then so I went up to watch Final Destination Bloodline, and I was not alone. I went up with my cousin and his girlfriend. This is still fucking lopsided to me. I don't know. Anyway, what did I think of Final Destination Bloodline as a massive Final Destination fan? I fucking loved it. It was just what the franchise needed as a return to form, because the deaths are brutal, it's so interconnected to the others. It confirms for sure that someone has survived and is still alive by the time this movie takes place. And it's all so fucking great. Like I said, the deaths, like, there are multiple times where I literally had to look away because I was that squeamish. And they were really that brutal. So, the film opens up with seeing what happened in the 1960s. With this big tower, we see it fall, and then that's it. We see everyone die, and we think that we're going to cut back, like your standard Final Destination film, where we get introduced to our characters, we see them all die from the premonition, we see the main protagonists then save them, and then death comes for them one by one. Except not this time. We then, so once we see them the grandmother being killed, it jumps to her granddaughter, who's apparently for the past 2 months being suffering with nightmares of of the grandmother's premonition, and so she decides to go and start to ask questions. And eventually, that does lead her to go to see the grandmother, where the grandmother explains it all. That, and we do see that everyone that was there that night survived, because we're used to it being where when someone says, "Oh, get out if you're about to die" in these movies, only the main group survive, and some of them don't. That is the same with the first one. It was the same with the second one, the third, the fourth, and the fifth. Not for this one. And so then she explains that Death has been taking his sweet old time going through, um, the descendants of those that she saved, because they should not exist. So Death has been slowly picking his way through that list. And so she gives her a book, and the granddaughter isn't believing of her, and then the grandmother's like, okay, I know how to get her to believe me, and that's by dying. Because initially she was diagnosed with cancer, and then that's how Death was going to get her. Not this time, big apparently, and it was that death was a very brutal. And then of course we get a few deaths back to back, essentially. So we have the grandmother, and then we have her son, and then uh, it continues on from there. And then they decide, because in the notes there's a mention of a JB, which I knew who that was straight away, and of course it's none other than Tony Todd's character of William James Bloodworth, aka JB. And it's so nice to see him again, because I only know him from Final Destination and a few Star Trek character Klingons that he's played throughout Star Trek, and even a few Mocklins in the Orville. So that's how I know of Tony Todd. Was originally from Final Destination, the very first one, and so the fact that they managed to bring him back for this, I was so happy about. And I heard that the director said that they knew that he was dying. So, and one of his speeches that he gives, that's coming straight from the heart. That's not in the script originally. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. I might be misremembering, because it's been a few days since I've seen small little clip from an interview. But yeah, I was so happy that he's back, and it turns out he's one of the survivors. And I hate that I got spoiled that already, because I would have so have loved to have seen, gotten to experience that in the cinema, but it got spoiled on me, unfortunately. And yeah, it's good, because that explains why he knows about all of this stuff. That's why he says, he's had many different people over the years come to him. And we do get confirmation that the main protagonist of Kimberly from the second Final Destination film is still alive. Death. She was killed and then brought back, which is what happened in the movie, and then that's it. That fucked up Death's plan. And but then we get a little more insight into this, and that is, if you fuck with Death, he's gonna fuck back even harder. And that's why one of my favorite kills is one of the characters who is turns out to be a half brother to his two siblings, where his half brother is next, and who has an allergic reaction to peanuts. And so what they're going to do is they're going to they bring him into this room, and Death's already starting to get to work, because it turns out to be an MRI room, and this guy is emo and that. He has a bunch of piercings, and he almost died. Actually, which was a misdirect and I love that they've done that. But yeah, he fucked around, and he found out hard. Like, all of his piercings got ripped off. Because we knew of his earrings and his septum piercing. We didn't know about his nipples. We sure as shit didn't know about downstairs, because as soon as that happened, I was in stitches. That's my favorite death. And then it turns, yeah, as usual, everyone dies. No one survives. They think, like in Final Destination 3, where they think 3 and 5. I can't remember about 4, where they think they've survived, but no, and 4, yeah. They all think that they survived, that they cheat Death, but no, Death has come back around, and he kills them. And it's the ending is a callback to the second one, where there's logs done, because we see a log truck towards the end of the film, and I turned to my cousin, and I was like, oh, are they really going to do this? Are we really going to have a repeat of the second one, because that's the more traumatic one than any of the others? And it happened. It kind of happened, and I love that. I love this movie. Go see it if you can, because if you're a Final Destination fan, because it is so good. It really is. Like, don't go in with expecting it to be like as like I know I'm hyping this up, but that's because I'm doing it as a fan of the franchise. Like if you're a fan of the franchise, you need to go see it. Don't go in expecting like sophisticated writing. This is just a hour and a half to hour and 40 minutes of just going in and switching off your mind and just enjoying the deaths, the way the gruesomeness happens, because there are a lot more gruesome deaths that I talked about, probably even more gruesome than any of the others. And I think this might be the contender for my favorite Final Destination film now. I'm being serious. Like Final Destination 3 is my favorite of the six films, but now I'm thinking this Bloodline. So that has been my review for Final Destination Bloodline. If you've seen the film, let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. I'll catch you all on Monday, because I think I have an interesting video coming out on Monday. I've yet to film it, but I'll let you know. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow actually for my latest Doctor Who episode review, but I'll see you all on Monday for another brand new upload.